guys, it's GORD. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I have another tutorial for you today. Today is a look that, I don't think I've ever actually done anything like this before. So this is a look with no shimmer. This is a look that's got no colour. This is an all matte, smoky, contoured winged eye. I'm absolutely obsessed with this look. The brightened lid is super 60s, and the way that the eye makeup is contouring the eye makes the eyes look really pulled and cat-like, which we all know is a big trend at the moment. And just the extra bright under eye, the bright waterline and the bright lid, I just think look super, super, super pretty. Before you sit back and relax and grab your dog to cuddle, or grab a coffee, or grab a glass of wine in this quarantine, whatever, I would love it if you could subscribe and click that bell down below, just so you know every single time I upload a video, and hopefully you enjoyed today's. Okay, you lovely lot, we are back, zoomed in again. So today is all about a lovely winged, exaggerated shape, lovely contouring of the crease, a light beigey matte lid, all matte vibes, and a nude waterline and a nice spiky eyelash. I'm super excited to show it to you guys, so let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is spike up my eyebrows, just like in my last video. My favourite product for doing this is the Pink Honey Brow Pot. This is just the original. It's similar to brow soap, but I find it to be much, much stronger. The product in the pot has a little hole inside. This is for your mascara wand. I'm going to take a little bit of setting spray, and I've just sprayed twice directly into the pot. So I'm taking my pot and my mascara wand, popping it into the hole, and kind of waking up the product and making sure that it's completely coated. And now that my mascara wand is completely coated, I'm going to begin to work this through my eyebrows. You can obviously tail your brushing up of the hairs to whatever position you like your brows to be in. I personally like mine to be as spiky as possible. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. And I do recommend that you do this on completely bare skin. I wouldn't do this with your foundation already on. Because the mascara wand is a little bit moist, it might remove your makeup, so it's best to do it as a first step. I'm just going to keep working this product through the brow with the mascara wand until I feel that every hair is coated, and I'm happy with the direction that all the brows are going in. And it should look something like this so far. Now I'm going to take a clean finger and I'm going to slick my brow hairs with a little bit of pressure to my skin. So I'm going from the base of the brow and pushing up towards the very tips of the brow hairs. And you want your brow hairs to be completely slick and smooth to the skin. And you should be able to create that lush, feathered, laminated look on the brows. Like that. So we're going to build up a lovely ombre base. So before we even put any eyeshadow on, there's going to be lovely light and depth to the lid. So to begin to prime, I'm going to use a little bit of the Lay Low Paint Pot from MAC. And the shade of this is almost the same as my skin, but just a little bit warmer and a little bit peachier. And this is an HG crease brush from Beauty Bay. And we're going to take tiny bits of this product at a time and begin to feather this into our crease. So I want you to begin to apply this like an eyeshadow, using light little whipping motions with your brush, and only add more to the eye when you've blended what you've already applied to the eye. So don't worry about taking this across the lid, don't worry about taking this up to the brow bone. This is softly going throughout the crease and out towards the temple. We just want a lovely even coat of soft full coverage and matte peachiness throughout the crease, ready for some shadow. And because of the peachy tone of this, it makes for a really good colour corrector for the inner corner, where our skin's always a little bit more blue or purple. So you can just brighten up in that inner corner too. So already that priming step has brightened up the eye so much. Lovely, so now we're going to shape and highlight just the arch of the eyebrow. To do that, I'm going to use the Mitchell Acid Rain paint in the shade Blank Canvas. I'm going to apply a very small amount to the back of my hand. And to shape the brow, I'm going to use my favourite Zoeva soft concealer brush. This is the best brush for doing anything crisp, whether it's a cut crease, or your eyebrows, or cleaning up a lip. This brush is amazing. So I'm flattening the brush into the paint, back and forwards on the back of my hand, just to make sure the brush has got loads of product on and it's nice and skinny. And then using very light pressure, I'm just going to begin to glide this brush across the skin underneath the eyebrow. And I'm not going to try and get this in one fell swoop. I'm going to build it up in little sections, just doing little strokes, and every 2 or 3 strokes reshaping my brush to make sure it's nice and sharp. And we're just shaping the arch of the brow, so I didn't bring my carving all the way into the front. We're going to soften that line soon. If you have the right brush and the right product, and it's nice and sharp, you should barely have to try and get that sharp line. And then I'm going to switch to a Beauty Bay I Spy brush, and I'm going to begin to soften the edges of that blank canvas into the Lay Low Paint Pot. And I'm just going to keep going in with this little soft brush and my previous brush that I used for my Lay Low Paint Pot, that fluffy brush, until I get a lovely gradient from light to dark. I recommend you do one eye at a time with these products, since they're both really matte and they dry quite quickly. So perfect one ombre base on one eye and then flip to the other. So it should look something like this. I've got lovely peachy depth within the crease and a lovely matte highlighted blended brow bone highlight. I'm now going to use a jumbo pencil from NYX. This is in the shade Milk, which is just the white one, and I'm using a synthetic Bdellium Tools pencil brush, and I'm going to highlight my inner corner. So I'm just pressing that white pencil that does dry matte again, just like the other two products. I'm pressing it into my inner corner. What you want to do is place it on the eye, soften the edges, and then we're going to re-intensify the very centre of it to make sure there's a lovely starburst effect in that inner corner. Then, like I just said, I'm going to take a little bit more of that Milk pencil and make sure it's really white and light in that very, very, very inner corner. So we've basically applied a cream foundation and concealer to the eye, and we're going to contour the eye now with shadows. Lush. So for this eye look, I used two different palettes. The first palette I used was the Dose of Colours Friendcation palette with Desi and Katie. Love that palette. And I've also got the Latte 2 palette from Dominique Cosmetics. So I'm going to mix between the matte neutrals that are in both palettes. So the first thing I'm going to do is dip into the Dose of Colours palette. I'm going to dip into the darkest brown, which is called Cheens. And using that colour on a Zoeva pencil brush, I'm going to begin to map out the shape of my crease. So picking up little bits of product at a time and starting on my bottom lash line. I'm going to start to run some of this lovely chocolatey brown Cheens on the bottom lash line on the outer half. Starting on the bottom lash line means everything's going to connect perfectly and we can create the perfect angle for our wing shape. So continuing on from that bottom lash line, I'm now going to head up towards the tail of the brow. Make sure your face is completely relaxed when you do this. And again, I'm using a nice small tiny brush, so I've got loads of control and little bits of eyeshadow at a time. And then with our eyes open and relaxed, going above the crease, we're going to plot out the shape of the curve of the crease. And then we're going to create our dip and connect it to that wing shape we did earlier. So now that I'm happy with all my angles, I'm just going to keep going in with my shadow. And I'm now going to focus more on the actual finesse of the eyeshadow. So I've got a rough shape, so now I'm going to make it look a bit prettier. So using an E10 brush from Blank Canvas Cosmetics, I'm now going to break up my edges with the shade Churro from the same palette. I'm going to use little bits of eyeshadow at a time and work section by section and do tiny, tiny little circles and just start to add this lovely kind of toffee caramel warmth to the edges of that chocolatey brown. So my pressure is super light and I make sure that it's just the tip and the shape of the brush doing all the work for me. I'm not using it on its side. And just bit by bit, building up section by section, following that lovely little curved shape we made earlier. And then just bit by bit breaking up the edges. It's not about blending at this point. You apply your depth in the shape that you'd like, you break up your edges and then you blend. I'm now going to go back to our previous brush with no extra eyeshadow on and make sure that none of that dark brown, that Cheens shade has gone missing. And now the actual blending begins, so I'm going to use an M441 brush from Morphe, which is just a big white head fluffy brush. And I'm going to use a little bit of a bronzer from MAC. This one is a mineral skin finish called Dark Deepest. And starting softly underneath the beginning of the eyebrow, I'm going to work on trying to get an ombre from dark to light as the brow ends and it becomes the nose. So by having depth here, it's only going to make this lightened highlight pop even more and make your brow appear higher. Now I'm going to work on softly feathering the very, very tip of the winged shape of the eyeshadow into the skin. And now I'm going to softly work it in between. And you don't want to get rid of too much of your brow highlight, you just want to soften the edges of what you've already done. Because seeing the gradient in the crease from really dark chocolate brown into almost white is going to look so cool. And we're going to keep our brow bone bare and matte, so we don't really have another shadow to save us if we did make any boo-boos or brought our blend up too high. So just use a little bit at a time, tiny little circles, little bits of pressure, and build it up. If you've watched my previous makeup tutorial, you'll know this is my technique. I go from dark to medium to light, and then medium to dark, and then medium to light until I get a lovely blend between the three tones. Now it's just about using my eye to see if there's any areas where any of the shades are missing or any of the stages have been diminished, and making sure you can see all three colours within the crease. So your crease blending shape should look something like this. So to clean up this lid and make sure it's looking flawless and perfect, I'm going to use the matte metals in the shade Faux Fur from Huda Beauty. I'm going to use the matte side of this product. I'm going to place it on the centre of my lid. Don't go all the way into the inner corner and don't go all the way out towards your shadow. But just clean up this little centre panel on the eye and then we'll blend it out with a brush. So using a PC11 brush from Peaches, I'm going to begin to pat this product into the skin on the lid and then soften the edges. And this product is amazing at staying opaque and crease free, it doesn't crack. But just using the tip of this fluffy synthetic brush from Peaches, I'm blending this product into the skin. That by itself is absolutely stunning. I'm now taking a pencil brush with the shade Cheens on, and I'm working this across the edge of where that matte product ends, just to make sure that it's nice and soft, and it's a nice soft looking cut crease effect. I'm now going to take the E10 brush that we used previously with a bit of that bronzer on from MAC, and use this to soften this little edge on the lid into the smoky shadow. And I'm just going to go between the bronzer and the browns that we've used until we get a lovely ombre on this outside part of the lid. This is looking so nice, I'm so happy with it. I'm now going to take a Morphe brush. This is just a really old gunmetal pencil brush. I'm going to dip into that Dominique Cosmetics palette, and I'm going to take a little bit of Frothy and just lightly pat over that inner corner just to set that pencil and make that inner corner even brighter and even smoother. And then with the same brush, I'm going to dip into a little bit of Basic from that Dose of Colours palette and just set the top part of my crease to make sure that's nice and bright and smooth. And as I say, it's got that soft definition to it. We don't want a cut crease that's really sharp, but we do want that same effect and that high contrast. I'm going to dip into that chocolate brown from the Latte 2 palette, and being super careful, I'm just going to create a very thin line along the roots of all of my lashes. So it should look something like that. You can leave it just like this, but we're going to add one more colour to soften the edge. So I'm going to take this little detail shader brush from Zoeva, and we're going to use this to soften the top edge of that smoky liner. So I've dipped into a little bit of Cheens, and using very light pressure and being very careful, I'm just running this over the top edge of that smoky liner that we just did. And then I'm going to reapply my chocolate brown, make sure I haven't lost any of that, and that the chocolate and the caramel colours merge together nicely along this lash line. And because it's the same colours that we used within the crease, you should get this lovely shape going on. And all your matte shadows should be looking something like this. Ombre. I'm now going to use the Laura Mercier Caviar Stick in the shade Cocoa, and I'm just going to run this along the outer 2/3 of my bottom lash line. And this is going to be our eyeshadow primer for the bottom eye makeup. I'm going to pick up a little bit of our medium brown, that churro shade, and run that directly underneath. And then to create our nude waterline, I'm going to use my Zoeva brush with our Acid Rain paint again and just tap it into the inside of my eye. And the mascara I'm using is Lash Brag from Anastasia. I absolutely love it. So for lashes today, I wanted something spiky and fluffy, and it is just my favourite eyelash anyway. I've stacked two pairs together from Eldora False Lashes. They are the styles M112 and M116, and because of the matte beige lid, it really shows off the shape of the eyelash. I think they're perfect for this look. So now the false lashes are on, that completes the look. I'm super happy with these eyes. I love a winged shape on me anyway, and even though this eye looks quite dramatic, I think because it's neutral and it's matte with no shimmer, and because the lid's so bright and we've got a nude waterline, there's still like a freshness to the eye. So yeah, I'm absolutely obsessed. I've never created anything like this, and I can't wait to finish off the skin and take some pictures. So now I'm going to zoom you back out to do that. Lush, so that's the eyes complete. We're going to use the Jordana Tisha Face and Sparkle in the shade Rose Tinted. So this is a cream highlight and a glow dust. You apply the cream highlight, then apply the loose highlighter on top, and it gives the most insane glow. This is a Bedelium Tools Angled Synthetic Contour Brush. I love their brushes, I get them from TK Maxx all the time. Tap, tap, tap and build up this highlighter on your powdered skin. This by itself on bare skin is absolutely stunning. Such a lovely holiday product. The loose highlighter across tanned skin on your body on holiday is unreal. This product really is unique, and I highly recommend it to you all. So that's the cream sheen, and now we're going to apply the loose highlighter over the top. It's almost like you're prime and ready for your highlighter to go on, and it works a treat. So for me, I think the skin is looking absolutely stunning. I don't want to do too much colour to it, so I'm going to take a little bit of the Doll Beauty Light Bronzer and take it on a Morphe JH06. This is from the Jaclyn Hill collection, my ultimate favourite blush brush. I'm going to work some of this bronzer on the back of the face, just to hook the highlight and connect to the eye makeup. This is all I'm going to do. I'm going to use a very tiny amount of the Dark Deepest. This is that bronzer from MAC, and just take it along the edge of the eyeshadow up here, and connect it to that bronzer we just added. Try and get that flawless little connection from eye to skin. I'm going to pick up our eyeshadow brush that's got the bronzer on. So for my lips, I'm going to use a little bit of a sheer Urban Decay lipstick called Walk of Shame, which is very light, but I love it. It's just like lip gloss in lipstick form. So that lipstick's just lightened up my lip colour and made it more neutral. It's added a gloss and also draws more attention to the eyes that way as well. I absolutely love this style of lip on me. So the final step is eyebrows. So we're going to fill in the brows a little bit, make them a little bit deeper and more sharp using the Browsings Pro palette from Benefit. We're going to use the middle of the 3 pomades that's within this little set, and this set's in the shade Medium Deep. So using the Bedazzling Tools eyeliner brush, using hair-like strokes, I'm just going to fill in any gaps that there are above that concealer line that we began with. And that completes today's look and tutorial, guys. I really hope you've enjoyed learning with me today. I absolutely love this makeup look. I can't wait to go and take some photographs and post them. If you enjoyed the video today and you enjoyed learning with me, please do subscribe. It would mean a lot. I post videos a couple of times a week, all different types of makeup content just like this. Wherever you are in the world, whatever time of the week it is, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And until next time, I'll see you later, guys. Bye bye.